Honorable Juliet being one of my members, I welcome that. Thank you.
So we may require both of you to disclose further and better particulars. Honorable members, I'll open the floor by asking the Honorable Moses Kuria that will give you 10 minutes. If you spend less, the better. That clock will start ticking. We should be done with you in 90 minutes. Tell us the story of your life till the arrival of where you're sitting.
Thank you, Chair. I was born 51 years ago in Gatundu South in Kiambu County. I attended primary school in a school by the name of Gidhoya Primary in Gatundu South. That is between the year 1977 and the year 1983. I attended another school called Itulo High School in Gatundu South for my O-levels between the year 1984 and 1987, and I passed with flying colors. I proceeded for my A-levels, Thika High School, between the year 1988 and the year 1989. Again, I passed well, and I was admitted to the University of Nairobi, in the year 1990 for a Bachelor of Commerce degree, specializing in accounting and finance. I graduated in the year 1993, and between 1994 and 1995, I worked for various organizations, including Total and Diane Blair Investment Bank. In the year 1995, I joined Standard Chartered Bank all the way to 1999. And in the year 1999, I was poached by a bank in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia by the name of Al-Ajhi Bank, which happens to be the largest Islamic bank in the world. I worked there for 4 years, and in the year 2003, I teamed up with my colleagues in the Gulf region, and we set up a banking and financial sector consultancy by the name of Walmart International, and we consulted for banks and other organizations in the area of technology, Islamic finance, and business processes across the entire Middle East. Represented some leading companies in technology from Europe and India, in Middle East and North Africa, and later on the entire Africa. I came back to Kenya in the year 2007 at the invitation of the late Mwai Kibaki, who was my friend, and he asked me to assist as a consultant in his government, and I worked in that role until the year 2008. In the year, the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta as his technical advisor on trade matters. Later on, the Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta was transferred to the National Treasury as the Minister for Finance, and I moved there as also technical advisor in the Treasury until his election as president in the year 2013. In the year 2014, they lost a by-election in Gatundu South constituency following the sad demise of the then Member of Parliament, Honorable Joseph Ngugi. I offered myself for election in that by-election, and I won. I was the first person in the new constitution to be elected and opposed. Let alone some members who are sitting here would copy from me, including Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah. And later on, to the year 2017, I was again re-elected Gatundu South until the year 2022. And I held that job. I offered myself to be the governor of Kiambu County. I did not succeed. And I was then nominated by President William Samoei Ruto to be the cabinet secretary in the docket of in the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry. And that's how I am here, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Moses Kuria. I'll now open the floor to members. Honorable members, I'll restrict on direct one question each for the member, the nominee, to answer in the same manner. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I should also begin by declaring interest, standing on number 90, because Honorable Moses Kuria, besides being my colleague, has been Member of Parliament in my county and my very close friend since we joined Parliament together. But Honorable Speaker, that being so, here is also copied, he said he attended the University of Nairobi, having missed attending the Alliance High School to Ituru Boys, so Ituru Secondary School. But that being so, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Moses Kuria, you are taking over a docket that is very important. And trade between our country and Uganda, you know, Uganda is our top most bilateral trade partner in the region. But there exists a huge potential between our country and Ethiopia. I would want to hear what your thoughts are in relation to cross-border trade between our country and our neighboring countries, Ethiopia, and access to the African free trade area in the larger region. Also on matters to do with trade, you are aware that our traders here in Nairobi and in many other urban centers suffered immensely under the previous regime, especially our traders in downtown Nyamakema, Kamukunji, in Isli. And since these are trade docket issues, right from the question of standards and camps to the smooth clearance of goods at the port of Mombasa, I would also want to hear thoughts on that. Honorable Speaker, if you indulge me, the Honorable Moses Kuria has also indicated that he has been charged severally. I think he forgot the word severally. But he has indicated he has never been convicted. However, Honorable Moses Kuria, there is an affidavit that has been filed by a petitioner who alleges that you once confessed to having received some bribe somewhere. I don't know the authenticity of these allegations, whether it is indeed true, as the petitioner says, that you have confessed to having taken a bribe. With that, Honorable Speaker, so, good.
Moses, you'll take 4. One day.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Kuria, you know, unlike some of us in this room who know you, okay, a number of Kenyans out there tend to misunderstand you. Sometimes they perceive you as someone who is divisive, who can cause animosity by the way you carry yourself and the manner you communicate. What assurance can you give Kenyans, live television, that you mean well for the cohesion of the country, the unity of Kenya, being a multi-ethnic, multiracial society, that Kenyans should not feel afraid when they hear your name or when they see you? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Chairman. Chairman, I want to state that Moses Kuria is my friend. We spent 4 to 5 days together in Pangani in the cell.
You should also disclose that I came there to see you.
Okay. Mr. Speaker, it's true. I was coming to that. So you also visited us there, and you gave us some legal advice. And he did a lot of things there, but that's a subject for discussion another day. But now now that will not stop me from vetting him now, Mr. Chairman. So the question I wanted to put to him is, if you are approved and made the Minister for Transport, for Trade, how will you deal with this question of counterfeit goods? Because it is becoming a delicate issue in this country on how to protect the local manufacturing industry, and the counterfeit goods that are coming from outside. So how will you strike a balance between the two so that you save the people who are manufacturing locally and you also don't stop people who are coming from importing goods are being told that you are bringing counterfeit goods? What is your vision on that? And lastly, the issue of trade imbalance. Like if you see, there's a question here that it's now 120 billion shillings, the trade imbalance. How do you intend to address that? What are your thoughts on that? Thank you very much.
Yes, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Chair, I still want to deal with Chapter 6, which is very important for nomination and election or appointment of public or state officers. And we must look at that article in terms of deed and word. Now, the nominee is publicly known. He's a very highly publicly known individual. His comments, his on Twitter, on Facebook. His temperament has actually been highly publicized. He himself did say that he was bribed by the Honorable Amos Kimunya. And Peter Mungai's affidavit, which is in our files, states that in 2013, he threatened to hunt down those that had voted for Raila Amolo Odinga. Again, I understand early this year from this affidavit, he threatened to remove one of Uhuru's, I cannot say the word, maybe he can male engine parts. And he's been noted on national TV using 4-letter words. And not to forget that he once walked out of a TV live interview. So I'd like to ask the nominee, do you honestly feel that you sufficiently qualify to pass the integrity test?
Moses, you can answer those 4.
Thank you very much. Chair, I will.
Speaker, not to interrupt, Honorable Speaker, but with the indulgence, I don't know whether Honorable Mbui said some of the things he's saying are in the affidavit.
They are in the file, Speaker. I picked from the file.
Go on and answer, Moses. I don't think those are insurmountable questions.
Chair, if I may seek guidance, can I choose any order to answer?
Yes.
So that I can.
As you answer all the questions,
Thank you very much.
in as precise a manner as you are precisely asked.
Thank you. Chair, I ask that because I would want to dispense on the whole issue surrounding Chapter 6 that have been raised by Honorable Robert Boy and my good friend Honorable Ichungwa and Honorable Opio and I. We've come from a very divisive phase in the politics of our country. Most of us were players in that contest for a long time. And for myself, this contest was, or this participation was way even before I became a member of parliament, since I came back to this country in 2007. So I've been around for around 15 years. I was also around before even I went into professional practice. I should have mentioned that I was the treasurer of the student organization of Nairobi University. So I was politically exposed from that point. And I grew up under the wings and tutelage of Kenneth Matiba and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. So from the onset, I was weaned and grew up at the time that you were agitating for multipartyism and democracy in this country. That kind of a background at a very early age, because I started working with the team of Matiba and Jaramogi. I was part of the Sabasaba movement. I was there at Kamukunji when we were fighting for removal of Section 2A when I was only 21 years old. And as a participant, we've been involved in, yes, very divisive moments. And the division that characterized this country also shaped many people. So that's a reality. It can only be my hope and desire that all of us collectively will be able to see a Kenya that now, because that is now we're talking about 30 years, that we can be able to graduate into better political culture that is more issue-based, that is not personality-based. Within those 30 years of divisive politics, we've all collectively said things and done things which to each other we need to have a moment of repentance and forgiveness against each other. And that is not just to me, that is to many political players in this country. So let me say that any perceived extremism or divisiveness on my side has been shaped by the kind of political culture we've had. And going forward, as we progress, I am going to play my role in ensuring that we have a culture where political competition is not enmity, but it's just that competition. And I do not think that personally, as a person, I have got anything within my DNA that is synonymous with hate or extremism or separation. I have been in this parliament. I enjoy very good relations with most of these members, good moments and bad moments.